Here's 10 more NBA records broken in the 2018-19 season and playoffs. A lot more history has been shattered since part 1 of this video, and these lesser-known broken records continue to prove the overwhelming amount of talent in the NBA right now.
He is thrown out of the game 1 minute, 3 seconds in.
Michael Jordan was the oldest player in NBA history with 50-plus points at age 38 in 2001. One of the greatest bench scorers of all time, Jamal Crawford, who's been past his prime for years, comes out of nowhere this season to deliver 51 points on April 9th of 2019. But the record Jamal broke in this game that you probably didn't hear about is that he became the first player ever to score 50 points with 4 different teams. Crawford plans on returning for his 20th NBA season in 2019-20. The Detroit Pistons passed the New York Knicks, who ended their playoff losing streak in 2012, and Detroit now holds the record for the longest playoff losing streak by an NBA franchise. And this leads back to the Celtics winning 2 straight against them to advance to the NBA Finals, all the way back in 2008. The next year they were swept by LeBron. Then after a painful 7-year rebuild, the exact same thing happened in 2016. Blake Griffin's return to elite status got them another 8th seed this year. It's tough to see a typically successful franchise be completely stuck in the middle this decade. The second of 3 playoff records set on this list is James Harden jacking up 15 shots before scoring in Game 3 against the Jazz, the most shots ever taken without scoring in a playoff game. Rubio's strategy of standing behind Harden finally worked, as James was intent on taking his patented step-back threes. The Jazz's defense threw multiple defenders at James and mauled him all game long, but Utah still couldn't take advantage and get the win, while Houston's best player missed shots he would normally make. It really just shows how strong the 2019 Rockets are all around that they still won this game. Historically bad shooting night, an extremely weird night overall for Harden. Buddy Hield passes Damian Lillard, who had 599 threes through his first 3 NBA seasons. Hield finished this season with 602 career three-pointers since his first season back in 2016-17. And the development since then is legit. Buddy averaged 20 points a game this year while being 5th in the NBA in three-point percentage. This year, his shooting off the dribble makes him incredibly tough to defend, especially with his sneaky quick release. Quickly, another Harden record. This time, he became the first player ever to shoot over 1,000 threes in a season, breaking Steph Curry's previous record of 886 threes attempted. I talked about his unassisted points record and 35-plus points and 5-plus assists record. Stay tuned to see if the beard cracks the list yet again. But Harden's Rockets' 3-pointers made in a game record was snapped yet again by, again, the Houston Rockets. Shockingly, Eric Gordon was the main contributor to this, as he knocked down 8 of his 13 attempts. All around, Houston displaying beastly long-range potential up and down the roster after breaking this record for a second time this year. Sometimes Gregg Popovich gets ejected to send a message to his players. This time, it was clear he had no intention of doing that, but this ref didn't want to deal with Pop's angry presence the entire game in his ear and just decided to toss him right away. Pop now holds the unofficial record for the fastest ejection in NBA history. There's yet to be an example found of someone being tossed faster than this, but Rudy Gobert seemed to be the new record holder after smashing a cup earlier this season with an awkward delay in between the ejection. But leave it to Gregg Popovich to get under a ref's skin this quickly. A thin-skinned ref, I might add. You saw Curry broke the playoff record for threes in the thumbnail. He had 8 threes in Game 1 against the Clippers. So at only the age of 31, he's passed Ray Allen for the most three-pointers made in the postseason. Just an insane pace. But another record he set, this time in the regular season, was the most consecutive games with 5 threes. He had 7 straight, ending on October 28th. You'd think the record would be higher than 7, but Curry passes George McLeod, who had 6 straight games with 5 three-pointers in 95-96. Devin Booker is the youngest NBA player ever with back-to-back 50-point games. What's more impressive is there's only 10 players in NBA history that have ever done that, and other than Antoine Jamison, they're the all-time greatest NBA players. There needs to be a petition started to get this man some more help in Phoenix. The Suns' new management should help that. Before the last record broken, some honorable mention. It's Westbrook's 3 seasons to average a triple-double, the most seasons ever by any NBA player to average a triple-double. Thomas Bryant was 14 of 14. He made the most amount of field goals without missing in a single game other than Wilt. James Harden had the most consecutive 30-point games in the modern era, again other than Wilt. Spurs had 14 of 14 threes in a half, which is the most in 20 years. But on March 17th, Giannis Antetokounmpo became the record 11th NBA player in a season to score 50-plus points. Devin Booker added to that record with back-to-back 50-point games. Harden did it 6 times, but Griffin, Curry, Thompson, and D. Rose already had their 50-point games before the end of October. Kemba, LeBron, KD, Dame, Aldridge, and of course Jamal Crawford complete the record 13 50-point games in a season. And it just goes to show we're currently witnessing an era like no other in the NBA, with generational talents left and right. If you're new and enjoyed, hit subscribe for everything basketball. 2 shoutouts next video. Be sure to answer the question. This was Dflow. See you next video.